Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulihil ameen wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'een wa man tabi'ahum bi ihsanin ila yawmiddin amma ba'd. Qala Allahu azza wa jal fi kitabihi وآتوهن أجورهن بالمعروف محصنات غير مسافحات ولا متخذات أخدان. Dear viewers, we welcome you once again to this wonderful series called Social Evils and Their Redressals. Today, inshallah ta'ala, we are going to talk about the implications of co-education. Unfortunately, co-education has become a commonplace. It's the order of the day, so to say. A lot of people don't really have any idea the kind of damage that it does to your children and my children if we send them to any educational institution which has both the genders, the boys as well as girls. And unfortunate that, there's not a lot of people that are, interested in taking this issue up with the government or for that matter, in their own communities or dealing with, this issue themselves in the house and the family. So that's a big concern. And what I have recited today is an ayah from Surah An-Nisa in which Allah Azza wa Jal has used these two terms, غَيْرَ مُسَافِحَاتٍ وَلَا مُتَّخِذَاتِ أَخْدَانٍ. Those who commit immorality are called the musafihat. And also, وَلَا مُتَّخِذَاتِ أَخْدَانٍ. The مُتَّخِذَاتِ أَخْدَانٍ or مُتَّخِذِي أَخْدَانٍ, these are the people who have secret affairs. They love people, they love, or should I say in the bold terms, they have boyfriends and girlfriends secretly. So what happens essentially is that you have a boy and a girl in the school studying in the same classroom, and unfortunately, whenever they mingle with each other, they meet each other, they interact with each other, there's no one that sees them. There's no one that actually can tell them to stay away from each other. Because, in this arena, in this 21st century that we are today, this is no more considered a sin. On the contrary, when you look at these people, when you look at these boys and girls who are mixing with each other, intermingling with each other, you don't really, have an idea of how much damage it could do to their, character, to their morals, and how immoral, should I say, they can become in the years to come. And the effect of that could be seen even when they are married. These things, a boy starting to be interested in a girl and vice versa, and then they start dating each other without really the parents knowing. And these days, the unfortunate apathy, I should say, is so much that parents don't really have any control over these things. There was a time when these boys and girls did of course have affairs and did not really tell anyone, and they secretly had their affairs until they got married. And if they were, they would think that if they were lucky, they'd get married to the same person, and if they were not lucky, that's what they would think, that if they were not lucky, then they would get married elsewhere. But today we have come to a situation where you openly declare that this is the guy I want to marry and this is the girl I want to marry, and parents have no choice but to accept their choice. So this is the side effect or the implications of studying in a co-education system. At the same time, I must also tell you that while you have your children go and study at these schools, you don't really understand the role the intimacy between each other can play. Imagine you have you're sitting with a group of 10 people and you've got some men walking behind you, and no one pays attention to that. On the contrary, if you have even one girl passing by, and if she makes a little bit of noise, we have our ears go like this. we tend to pay attention. So, when you and I are sitting in a gathering like this, and if a lady passes by, we can easily get distracted by that. Imagine a young boy and a girl, much, much younger than you and me. Imagine them. They have to toil, or they have to deal with this every day. How long can they prevent themselves from falling into any trap by the Satan? Therefore, it is important that we have our system of education revamped and revised. And while, in your town, in my town, there could be plenty of Islamic schools coming up, I think some Muslims have to get up, not really worry about opening another Islamic school. Instead, they could look to go out and open another school in which you don't really have the co-education system. Believe me, there are plenty of people in the society who are still ready to send, their kids to your school if you do not have co-education system, because they are concerned about their children's future. And like I said, in some cases, this disease goes on even after the marriage is, taken place. Even after the boy or the girl has been married, the girl goes back to chatting with the boy, or the boy goes back to meeting the girl, or trying to, persuade her to, marry and be with her. This goes on. Therefore, we have to, stitch it in time so as to save 9 stitches. May Allah Azza wa Jal give us guidance. May Allah Azza wa Jal help us understand that we can't afford to lose our children like this. May Allah Azza wa Jal make it easy for us to have our children educate not in the co-education system. Ameen Ya Rabbil Alameen. Wa akhiru da'wana anil hamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.